Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. And now, probably over the last month or two, I've been doing some filming on the Corpus Christi Marina, which the Columbus ships, and I'm going to give you a little rundown for you guys that are not up to speed. What it was, the country of Spain has, or the government of Spain, to commemorate, I can't say that word, the 500th anniversary of the Columbus voyage. They built 3 ships, and to give to America, and they are stationed in Corpus Christi, Texas, and so I believe that was 1992. Is that right?
In 1992 is when they sailed over, yes.
And since then, it's changed different hands, and a lot of them, I think all 3 were in bad need of repair. So I kind of documented some of that and the work they're doing, and things like that. And let's go ahead and switch to and we got Joe Hominick, which is from the Columbus Sailor Association. How you doing? Thanks for coming here today.
Doing fine.
And now, going over some of this. Now, tell me some of your background information I was looking at. I know you're a physics teacher. You kind of do this part-time.
Yeah, this physics teacher, we're all volunteers on here. That's the only thing that's the only people that actually work on it. So, it says, being the summertime, I've got a little more time to help them work, although I do help them during the year too. But, and mostly all we do is work on Saturdays. So the Columbus, 2 of the ships are out of the water. Some people don't realize that it was years ago that they were in the ship channel and accidentally got hit by a barge, and 2 of them were badly damaged, and they were pulled out of the dry dock to be repaired. But the Nina was left in the water. The others never really did get repaired, and it's due to problems with money with the city and all that. And the city has actually kind of got with us, and we kind of got a deal going with this that if they'll let us, we will maintain the ships, and that way the city doesn't have the cost of that. Yet we do have to raise our own money and stuff like that. So we're trying to get our main goal right now is to get the Nina back sailing. And I would invite anybody to join us, because one of the reasons I'm doing it is that I would like to sail on a 15th century sailing ship. It's not very often you're going to get the chance to get on a square rig ship and sail it, and it's going to be pretty much a member type thing. It's not going to be a charter type boat, so just going to take a little while to get these things back together to where they're able to sail again.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to see something like that. Of course, I have a history in the Navy, and it'd be kind of remarkable to sail on an actual sailing ship. I guess based in the 15th century. I guess my history's not very good, but
yeah, it was after the 15th century. It's 1400s. This is the technology they had back then. It said if you look at the Nina doesn't even have a steering wheel. It was all with a tiller underneath there, so there's no. Said a lot of the things that are, and not only that, but it doesn't have jibs or spinnakers and things like that on it, so it's just square rigged. So it's quite an antique, to tell you the truth. And we're not going to change it to make it a better, faster ship. We're just going to use the technology that they use.
Okay, I went ahead and just let you guys know. I made a like I said, I filmed it over about 3 weeks, and I'm going to show it here in just a minute. It was a lot of fun because the conditions were nice. It was sunny weather. I got some excellent footage, so we're going to show that right now, filmed on location, and hopefully cross my fingers and everything goes right. And we got John Turney from the Columbus Sailing Association. And could you tell us a little bit about what the Columbus Sailing Association is and a little bit what you guys do?
Absolutely, Steve. Our organization was started in 1999, and we're a group of people who used to sail the Nina, and we were instructors for the sailing school that we had here. And after things got disbanded with the demise of the Columbus Fleet Association, we've kind of hung around for about 12 years. And 2 years ago, we started talking with the city about us taking over the ships and trying to get them rehabilitated. So this last December, we were given that opportunity. We've signed a contract with the city, and they've given us $20,000 in seed money to help with the restoration. So we're coming along pretty well on the Nina, and that's the first phase of what we're doing.
Okay, you said that was the first phase. So how many phases do you have left, and is it going to be applied to the other Columbus ships, or?
Yes, we have 4 more phases. One is to get a dock area right here where we can separate the Nina from the sidewalk and then be able to let people get on the ship. The third phase is to go down and finish the restoration on the Pinta and the Santa Maria, at least good enough to get them into the water. The fourth phase is to get a barge set up with about 3 or 4 barges over in front of the American Bank building here at the north end of the marina, and we'll berth all 3 ships in the water there. And then the last phase, which will be kind of the exciting phase, is we're going to get a big crane in to pick those ships up down at the museum and set them in the water. So that ought to be an exciting day when that happens.
Now, I understand with this Nina, you should be finished up by August, I believe, right?
Probably late September, early October with what we've got to do. We're going to end up completely sanding the entire ship and applying a special marine varnish to it. So that'll take a little time, but the major structural stuff with replacing the decks and replacing the mast, that will be done by then.
And I look forward to seeing what it looks like once it gets done.
We hope the rest of the community comes down. They're going to see a very dramatic change from what it's been.
Yeah, they are in immaculate condition. You saw it? Yeah. We have about 10 of these bunk racks that we got to redo the fabric on them. We want the space down here for bunks and to put in a small galley.
Also, tell me about, you have some fundraising, which is the Bricks for Veterans, I believe. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, we've set up a program and we have the approval of the city, the Parks Department, all the veterans organizations, and we're marketing veteran donor bricks to be placed in a plaza down at Sherrill Park. The bricks are $50. There's a certificate that's available for another $5 that has a representation of what's on your brick, and we've had pretty good response from people. Families are joining in, and they're getting everybody in the family a brick, and when they order them together, we can get them laid together. So it's going to be kind of a community thing, and it'll be a personal family experience down on the bayfront.
Now, if anybody's interested where your websites are located to find more information about the Columbus Sailing Association or the Columbus ships?
Yes, you can go to www.ccbarcos.com, ccbarcos.com, or you can call 361-992-0794, and somebody will be happy to help you.
Awesome. Say cheese. Okay, we're back. Gotta turn up the volume so we can hear each other. There we go. Actually, that was a good question that somebody brought up there, because when initially I went down there to the Corpus Christi Pier, I thought it was kind of small too, but from my understanding, I think those are actually full-size replicas.
They are full-size replicas. The Nina is about 78 feet. And really, even the Pinto over there is not much longer, maybe 10 feet longer, something like that. But you got to realize that something like 30-something guys rowed that thing over across the ocean back in those days. And even that to the group that came today, and we had a group of people on it during the fireworks during 4th of July, and we had 24 people on there, and I guarantee you one thing, that thing was crowded.
So you're saying normally it's 30 people per ship?
That's right. On the say that. Of course, the other ones probably had a few more because they're a little bit bigger. I know the Santa Maria is quite a bit bigger, but 100-something foot. But the Nina is the smallest one of the bunch.
Yeah, that was a good question. I'm glad that somebody put it in there, because I thought the same thing actually. Now I know it says here you're the lead carpenter, so I figure you would maybe tell us some of the damage, and then what was done to repair it. Well, at least
okay. The main damage was just plain neglect. It was just due to dry rotting and stuff. The main, what we call the half deck, which is the back upper deck, mainly was pretty much all gone. Some of that, if you saw that table that was on the top of the deck there, I made that. It was kind of some leftover wood off the half deck, so I took some of it and made a table out of it. But I tell you what, probably 50% of the wood was completely rotted away. It was not even usable. And one of the guys commented on the underdeck, said if you look at that ship it has oak ribs, and then it has pine planking on it. So the top deck was pine planking put over oak timbers that go across there. So says it's a pretty remarkable piece of equipment. Even when you've seen the picture, if you really see underneath the deck, it is quite remarkable, the workmanship that's put into it. And it says so it's quite a remarkable piece of equipment there. That's one of the things that got me into it. It says because I enjoy working with wood, and I've worked with antiques for years. It said when I started looking at this thing, I said, I could learn something from it. Just by working on it. So, it says we've still got that main deck that was the biggest job, that half deck, although the main deck, we still have some timbers that are rot on there, not as many of them, probably about 5 to 10. And then we got a lot of little cosmetic work to do. There's places that there are rot that we got to remove pieces of wood and then replace them. So, said most of that. In the hull is in excellent shape, so it's not a problem that we have to repair anything on the hull. It was out of the water in November. I don't know if you'll see, it was on the news that they had developed a leak and some shipworms had gotten into it, and they took it over to Port Aransas, the Rockport, somewhere over there, and they lifted it up out of the water in a place where they take out the wooden shrimp boats. And the guy that inspected it said it didn't creak a bit when he pulled it out of the water, and he inspected every board, and he said it's in ideal shape. And they put on basically a 10-year bottom job on it to prevent that from happening again.
Now, okay, I know the half deck was pretty much all replaced, and something unique I think that the Spanish did, the Spanish government or whoever built it in Spain, they used hand-forged iron nails, but on a wooden ship, it wasn't ideal because they pretty much rusted through, I think, from what I understand.
Unbelievably, I have pulled nails out of that ship that were in pristine shape. What causes those nails to rot, as long as they're in the wood and the water does not get to them, it is not a problem. Where we saw most of the rotting is where the deck started leaking. It leaked down onto the main oak joist, and then right in between the oak and the pine, it started resting the nail right there. That was the only place. But I'll tell you what, those nails, I was really surprised. I picked out some of them out of there that they were in excellent shape. They looked like they were brand new. There wasn't a rust on them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, now that you mention it, as long, I guess the wood itself is protecting the nail as long as the head of the nail. Now, I know over the nail holes they probably use wooden plugs. I think I've seen that as well.
Yes, they use wooden plugs to cover up those nails, and then a tar-like substance. There's a marine seal that goes over there, and of course, all of the boards have to be caulked along the seams so that that's a rope type, oakum type stuff that is pounded down in there, and then the sealer is put over top of it so that the water doesn't get to it. And one of the things that you've got to do on a wooden ship is you've got to constantly keep after that. When you see something coming up, you've got to put it back. You got to put it back. We went back in with that deck and actually put galvanized lag screws in. We did not go back with the nails that were in there, but basically that was for added strength, and they will last a lot longer, but we're still going to have to keep it caulked and keep it sealed up.
And I think another thing that, I showed it during the video, some of the damage of the main mast. I guess it's called the main mast. Yeah,
the main mast has a lot of rot in it down at the base. I would say probably has lost at least 25% of its strength. We're going to replace it. That is the one that we're going to replace. We have located one for it, but the whole thing is that we've got a limited number of volunteers, and we're just trying to get certain things finished. As a matter of fact, sometimes I have to get after these guys. Don't start any new projects till we get a few finished. So, so as soon as we get that half deck, of course, that half deck's got a lot more work to do to it, but as soon as the planking gets put down on it, then some of the guys can be released, and they can start looking at the replacing of that mast. But really, if we can replace that mast, that would probably be about, I'm saying probably about 80% of all the repairs that we need to make in order to get it to go again, So, but, that's kind of one of our main things, and they're quite expensive. It's quite an expensive thing to take care of.
Now, from what I heard, John mentioned this, that I think the utility company donated a telephone pole that's like the same diameter and length almost as the main mast, and they're gonna.
It's actually longer. It's it's what they call a highline pole, and they're actually a lot bigger. They're the ones that you see that are not the ones you see in your residential neighborhoods, but the ones you see, the industrial type ones that are actually taller. Sometimes you see them that go across freeways because they have to raise the wire up. So it is actually better, and we think about it. Said being creosote, it'll be a heck of a lot more resistant to the weather. Although that, even the creosote, if anybody knows anything about it, it causes its own problems. So we're gonna have to really watch out. So making sure it's clean. We don't want to get stuff on the sails. Also that we have to do some modifications to it because there are pulley blocks that are inserted into it. So we got a lot of work to do. The whole pole is not necessary. We'll probably cut off some of it. If you look at that pole, that mast, I said you cannot get a person. I don't care, the biggest person cannot get their arms around it. It is very, very large. It is not a small little mast you see on a sailboat. It's quite big, So that'll be a really help to us, because in order to get a new mast, it's around $20,000 just to get a piece of wood that big. So all the donations that we can get to help out. That's one of the things. It says if you know anybody that would like to put some money toward it. We're a nonprofit, so anybody that can help us out with stuff, we would surely appreciate it.
And let me see, there was some other things here. Of course, the city, we're showing here, the city donated $20,000 initially for some of the repairs. And of course, using volunteer manpower, you were able to actually only, I guess it was like $1,300 initially. I don't know if that was up to now, but, and let me see what else. Supposedly, I think the estimate was like $3 million for all 3 ships or something like that.
I'm not really sure exactly, you know, so these, I'm not sure where they get these things, get the prices and stuff for them. I know that the 2 ships that are over there in the museum are going to take a lot of work before we're able to even take them and put them back into the water, you know, because we don't really know. So, you know, so when wooden ships are out of the water, they dry out. And when they dry out, then they crack. So, you know, so you can't, you almost have to put sprinklers on them and stuff like that, and get the wood to swell back up before you can even stick them in the water. You just don't stick them in the water and have them soak up the water, because, you know, so you've got to do it gradually. You can't do it all at one time, you know.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That's some actually pretty interesting stuff. Actually, we got some more questions in the chat room already. We're going to wait on questions, but I see some good ones in there. I kind of want to go over the donations, which is called the Veterans for Bricks, and I want to show you guys that now and real quick, and then I'm going to have Joe kind of go over you know, if you want to donate for some of the bricks or just the donation itself. We're going to cover that. And this is what one of the veteran bricks look like. It's engraved, and hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. And there it is right there. And if you also want to get the bricks, you also get this, I guess I call it the certificate of authenticity. That's what I'm calling it here. And you get something like this right here with it as well. And I know we're getting a little bit of reflection there. And now, yeah, I'm going to go, could you tell us a little bit on some of the donations, if they want to either donate it or make a donation itself, or for the bricks?
Yeah, all of us, you know what I'm saying, know people that are veterans. In Corpus Christi has a lot of veterans in it, you know, so and we have a veterans memorial park in which any Memorial Day or even Labor Day, Veterans Day, you'll see me out there, because there's a lot of us guys that get out there, and just to honor our veterans and honor our losses that we have. And we know that we're all these wars that we fought, and even my dad's World War II vet, he's still living, you know, so I bought him a brick, you know, said all of us know people, and this is just another way of honoring our veterans. Over at Sherrill Park, we're going to lay a brick walkway with their names on it, their rank, where they served, you know, the years they served. So, you know, so these are just a way of honoring our vets, and we need to, you know, it's something we need to do. I very much believe in it, and it's just also a way of, you know, kind of helping us out too. So, you know, when you think about it, make sure that you know, get on our website at ccbarcos.com, and they have a thing there that shows you how to fill those out, tells you how much you can put it. I mean, and all that business can be done over the internet. You know, so it's very, very easy to do. And even my if you do not have the internet and want that, so drop by over there on Saturday. Or so there's a group of us there every Saturday trying to do some work. You know, so they'll have forms. You can do it by form too. So. Please let us know if you know, said these are good things to do. Said all of us have, and they're just $50 a piece. You know, said a lot of these walks, and I've seen these things, tiles and brick walks. They usually charge around $100. We're trying to make sure that we get all the veterans we can. You know, give them a chance to be recognized, and those can be living veterans or deceased veterans. You know, so there's a lot of them that I've done several of them for those that are living and deceased. So. So it's a good deal. And of course, said the other way we're going to raise money is as soon as we can get to where people can get on the ships and visit. So that's one of the things for those ships. Every time we're working out there, people come by and they want to get on them, and I don't blame them. Said all those kids look at it. First thing the kids say is pirate ship. I want to get on there. But it's a funny thing. But the thing is that these ships need to be used to show the city off. That's the number one thing. Says it's just we've got all these other attractions. It's just another attraction for people to come down and see. So and not only that, but I invite any of y'all to join. I said we're only a $25 a year membership to be one of us. If you can't come down and repair, hey, when we get it done, you come down to our school and you can sail with us. So always remember that. I said, think about it. I said, what are the chances in your lifetime you're going to get to sail a 15th century sailing ship? Most of us, just like me, I says, I've always wanted to sail a square rig ship. Said you've seen them in movies, you've seen everything else. So say, let's get out there and sail it, see what it's like. And because when we get this thing going, we're going to have day sails on Saturdays, and maybe sometimes, a couple times a year, do some night sails, get out in the Gulf and sail it around, spend the night out there, then come back in. So think about that. Join us and let us know.
Yeah, I just wanted to add real quick on the bricks, because since they're going to be placed in the walkway, they're going to be there for probably decades or more, and so it'd be kind of nice if you get it for a friend or relative, and it's going to be there and they can see it walking down the walkway, so it's going to be kind of permanent for a while. It needs to be repaired.
That's right.
And let me I know we had some questions in there, and some of them were actually good. Now, Joe, it was mentioned, how big was the main mast? And actually that's a good question.
That main mast is right around 90, I believe. It's maybe a little bit bigger than that. I'm not really sure exactly. I don't know. There's a lot of little details like that. I know that it's at least 90 because it takes us about 100 foot of rope to get up one side and come back down. So we're it's pretty far up there.
I tried. Well, I'm cheating. I got my cheat notes from your website, and I don't think I don't know if I even see the right one in there, but I guess you got that covered anyway. Yeah. So and I think maybe it was Brad that mentioned it. Can anybody do this? Because I know he's in Australia. I guess for the bricks, do you have to be a veteran to really?
Yes, those are okay. They are veterans bricks. They will be placed in as a veterans memorial. Okay. So yes, that's what they. Says, although we're looking at possibly getting some others that will place down in the marina, that is a possibility too, because we've had other people want to donate in the name of their family or something for the ship, and that will be kind of an alternate type thing, and we'd like to do, but it may take us a little bit longer to do that. Said we're trying to get this other thing get going. Once we get it going, said, and we're between 200 and 300 bricks right now. We just started about a month ago, so and we got room for 4,000. So we got plenty of room and
plenty of bricks.
And we need bricks to fill them in, Yeah. But we're looking at Veterans Day is placing the first bunch. So if you would like to put some in there, get us that way. If we can get enough by Veterans Day, that we can get 1,000 put in with 1,000 veterans on there. So let us know.
And there's another question in the chat room. Is there a crow's nest on that mast? And I never remember.
This is one of the advantages of the Nina. I'm getting to be kind of an old man, and you do not climb the mast on the Nina. It does not have. If you look at the shroud lines, is with the lines that actually hold the mast up. They go up from the side of the boat to the top of the mast. There are no ladders on them. So you do not. That's one of the things. If you think if I go sail on, I'm gonna have to climb up there and get that sail in. Well, no, that's not what you do. We lower the spar that holds that thing on there down and take the sail off. So so you do not climb up that thing. Now on the Santa Maria, there is a crow's nest, and you do have to climb the mast in order to take the sails in. But I'm not really too worried about that because we're going to do the Nina, then the Pinta before we even start on the Santa Maria. And by that time, I hope we'll have some younger men to be able to do that because I won't do it.
You know what? Now, when he mentioned a crow's nest, I figured, that's a pirate ship. That's totally off. But I didn't realize on the other ship, or one of the other ships, they actually got a crow's nest. But that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. But and okay, do we get any more questions? And let me see if I missed any of that. You guys actually a few other questions that were really good. Where Brad put in there, where's the Aussie flag? I don't think
yeah, that's one of the interesting things. I said we got to realize that is a Spanish flagship. It was built in Spain and launched in Spain. The Spanish government. It is a. That's one of the things we just got from the consulate general. Said he brought us a Spanish flag for it. So it said that's one of the flags that will always fly on there. Now, if you say, well, where's the Aussie flag? Well, I'll tell you what, you send me one on the Aussie Independence Day before then, and I'll fly it for you on there, okay, and send you a picture. Does that sound fair enough? A little extra donation would help, too.
Actually, that sounds kind of neat, flying a different flag just for a certain holiday and stuff like that. Actually, I got one question of my own real quick. Actually, it was in the chat room, and it was another good question. But I think you kind of answered it earlier in the show. You said something about, the question in the chat room was, are you going to be able to sail it with people on it?
What we're looking at now is we are a sailing organization, basically a group that if you belong to the group, you can sail with us. We have a sailing school because we've got, this is a working ship. You cannot just cruise on it, Said if you're coming in there, you're going to work with us. Are we going to have to work a lot? No, but when we turn the ship and we turn the sails and it's basically all hands on deck. Everybody's got to do something because even on those big sails, that we have to have like 3 people on each end, one to start loosening up a rope, another one to start pulling it in. So said you've got to have people, and it would probably take right around 12 to 15 people just to do that. So in order to sail with us, you will have to be a member, and then you will have to go to our sailing school. Now we haven't. As soon as we get this thing ready to go, we'll open up our sailing school, but we haven't really decided what the regulations on that would be. So, said it depends on, and once you've gone to the sailing school, let's say if you live in San Antonio or Corpus or Houston and you want to go sailing, you're coming down, you said, hey, I'm coming down this weekend, y'all going to go out. Yes, and we'll put you on a list, you'll go out there with us. Because we'll take whoever they belong, of course, and I've never sailed on it. The rest of the guys that I work with have, and they say that it's really an experience.
It kind of reminds me a little of the Windjammer cruises. I know it's not the same thing because it's you're sailing at old school when you sail the Nina, I think. And okay, I want to thank Joe for stopping by, and actually I learned a lot of stuff that about doing this whole news thing, and it's been great. And I do plan on whenever the Nina gets close to being finished, I am going to take some more video and show everybody in the chat room and YouTube and everything what it looks like once it's done. And actually, I might actually be interested when you maybe once you put in the main mast too. I think that's going to be coming up in a couple months.
Yes, that would be a good thing to be down there seeing that, because that's probably going to be a milestone for us. Just to get that, because that's going to put us very, very close, because when we put that in there, then we're going to be very, very close to getting ready. So we're kind of looking forward to that. Says, although, says, we got to remember, said, we're all volunteers, and we just work along, and we'll get what we can, and if it takes us a little bit longer, that's okay too, said, but keep an eye on us, look at our website, csubarcos.com, and think about those bricks, for the veterans. And keep up with us, because says, what are the chances you're going to be able to sail a boat like this? And says, and not only that, said, don't worry about, you don't like heights, you won't have to climb in the rigging.
Yeah, no crow's nest on some of them too. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish up for this news clip right here. So hold on.